Namaskar. As said earlier, I will share my insights on a few practices which served as the foundation for meditation. In the first part, we discussed for yams and niyams, that is to say, self-restraints and virtuous practices. Today, in the second part, I wish to share my insights about asans and pranayams, that is to say, postures and breathing exercises as the foundation for meditation. In the second half of first millennium, that is to say by the end of 8th century, several masters like Matsyendranath and Gorakshnath became aware of the limitations faced by seekers in diving deep into meditation with yams and niyams alone as foundation for meditation. The experiences have taught that in practicing yams and niyams, that is to say, the discipline of self-restraints and the virtuous practices, a certain quality of mind is missing. In observing self-restraint and the virtuous practice, in absence of such mind, we are creating mental and emotional issues for the seekers. If harmony is not developed in the seekers, then observing self-restraints and the virtuous practices create inner conflicts in the seeker rather than peace of mind. Though it may have continued as being expounded as a philosophical and religious principles, but for the spiritual evolution of seekers, it started failing, and some more effective practices became sine qua non. Matsyendranath and Gorakshnath personally propagated Hatha Yoga to their audience by writing Hatha Yoga Pradipika Swa-Atmaram, put aside yams and niyams and emphasized purifying the whole body, the stomach, the intestine, the nervous system, and all other systems. For that, Shat Karma were accorded priority if necessary. Shat Karma includes Neti, Dhoti, Basti, Kapalbhati, Tratak, and Nauli. After Shat Karma, these masters advocated asans and pranayams, that is to say, postures and breathing practices. They said in unison, let self-restraints and virtuous practice remain in the background and begin with self-control and self-discipline of the body. Asan is discipline. Pranayam is discipline. Kumbhak, retention of breath, is self-control. Sitting in Padmasana, lotus posture, for 15 minutes is self-discipline, and it was considered far easier than directly controlling the mind. They demonstrated what they meant by the body. The subtle elements, tattvas of the body, the energy channels, the nadis within the bodies should be purified. The flow of the vital force, the prana, in the entire nervous system and the several secretions in the body should be properly maintained and harmonized. Then seekers can go on to practice various mudras like Vajroli, Sahajoli, Khechari, Sambhavi, Viparit Karni, and others. They maintain that by following the path of purifying body by Shatkarma and disciplining the body by Asan and Pranayam and Mudras, it is far easier to dive deep into meditation. Not only that, these practices also induce pratyahar and lead into dharana, dhyana and samadhi. Nowadays, we are celebrating 21st June as International Yoga Day, and due to the popularity of yoga, most of us are well versed with number of asanas. In verse 34 of chapter 1 of Hatha Yoga Pratipika, Swa Atmanam says Siddhasan to be the best asana for meditation as follows. Siddham Padmam Tatha Siham Bhadram Veti Chatushtayam Sreshtham Tatrapi Cha Sukhe Tistet Siddhasane Sada. That is to say, Siddhasan, Padmasan, Sihasan and Bhadrasan. These are the four main asanas. However, always sit comfortably in Siddhasan because it is the best for meditation. Once steadiness in asana is achieved, the talk of practicing pranayam in verse 1st of chapter 2 as follows. Athasane drade yogi vashihit mitashana guru pradisht marge pranayaman samabhyaset. That is to say, thus being established in asana and having control of the body by taking a balanced diet, pranayam should be practiced according to the instructions of the Guru. The talk of Anuloma Viloma Pranayam, that is to say, the alternate nostril breathing for purification of nadis, in verse 7 to 9 of chapter 2 as follows. Baddha Padmasana Yogi Pranam Chandrena Puryet Dharyatva Yatha Shakti Bhuyaha Suryena Rechiyet. That is to say, sitting in Baddha Padmasana, the yogi should inhale through the left nostril and hold the breath to capacity and then exhale through the right nostril. Pranam Suryena Chakrusya Puryenduduram Shane Vidhivat Kumbhakam Krutva Punaschandrena Rechiyet. That is to say, then inhaling through the right nostril, gradually fill the abdomen, perform kumbhaka as before, then exhale completely through the left nostril. Yen tyajeten pitva daryed tirodataha reche chya tato anyen shane rev navegataha. That is to say, inhale with the same nostril through which exhalation was done. Hold the breath to utmost capacity and exhale through the other nostril slowly and not forcibly. The first pranayam practice is Nadi Shodhan Pranayam, alternate nostril breathing, which activates and harmonizes Ida and Pingla nadis. Shodhan means to purify. So Nadi Shodhan Pranayam means Nadi purification pranayam. There are other pranayams too, such as Brahmari, honey bee breathing, Bhastrika, bellows breath, Kapalbhati, skull shining breath, Ujjayi, ocean breathing, Sitakari and Sitali, cooling breaths, and each one has advantage of purification in addition to their respective different benefits. I found Brahmari Pranayam the most comfortable, convenient, safe and easy to practice. Incidentally, I dedicated one of my videos on Brahmari Pranayam, Path to Awareness, with reference to Om Nad and Nad Brahma meditation. In Ayurvedic terminology, our body has three humors, the dynamic forces that facilitates all the functions in the body. They are Kapha, mucus, Pitta, bile, and Vata, wind or gas. If any of them is in excess, out of the balance, it is called dosh, defect. They are called tridosha, defect trio. In yoga and Ayurveda, a balanced proportion of these three facilitates body functions well. Before commencing pranayama, any imbalance in these defect trio should be removed. Excess body fat should be reduced. Mucus blocking the respiratory tract should be removed. Gas in the stomach and intestine should be eliminated. In Hatha Yoga, there are 6 practices which were significantly designed for this purpose. They are called Shat Karma. Shat is 6, Karma is action. If the doshas are already balanced, there is no need to practice the Shat Karma. Hatha Yoga talks of Shat Karma for balancing of Tridosh, defect trio, in verse 22 of chapter 2 as follows. Dhotir bastis tatha neti stratakam naulikam tatha kapal bhatischa etani shat karmani prachakshate. That is to say, dhoti, basti, neti, tratak, nauli and kapalbhati. These are known as Shat Karma or the 6 cleansing processes. Hatha Yoga became the science of purification not only for the body but also for the mind. Not only one way of purification but also multiple ways of purification. When the body is cleansed of impurities, the nadis, the nerve system, or prana energy, the vital energy, bioplasma, functions well, and the energy blocks are released. Then the prana energy move like wave frequencies throughout the nadis, the channels within, the psychosomatic structure, physical body, and psychospiritual structures, the invisible bodies, moving right from base center, Muladhara chakra, to up above, up to the brain center, Sahasrara chakra. In yoga, life and consciousness are known as Prakriti and Purush. In Tantra, they are known as Shakti and Shiva. In Taoism, they are known as Yin and Yang. In Hatha Yoga, they are called Ida and Pingala. In Hatha Yoga, Ha represents prana, the vital energy, and Tha represents the thinking process, mind energy. The Hatha Yoga was to balance the interacting activities and processes of the physical body, prana energy, and mental body, the mind. This balance facilitated awakening to the Sushumna Nadi, the central nerve system for prana energy, etheric energy, the vital energy, which is responsible for the evolution of human consciousness. Hatha Yoga means the union of the pranic energy and the mind energy. Hatha Yoga stands for harmonizing the twofold energies, prana energy and the mental energy. This union leads to the awakening of higher consciousness. Therefore, Hatha Yoga was considered the preliminary practice for Raj Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, Kriya Yoga, as well as Tantra. The way propagated by Hatha Yoga remained the foundation for the meditational practice for quite a long time, with some adaptations by devotional traditions in which singing song for praying the chosen deity, chanting mantras of one's own choice, singing song in motion called Ras Garba Dhun, singing songs for days together called as Akhand Dhun, uninterrupted Dhun, dancing and singing song on the street or way to temples of God, singing and dancing in rituals, ceremonies, religious festivals, and on other occasions. Explicitly or implicitly, these all acted as purifying process of body and mind and bringing energy to heart center, from where diving deep into meditation was found easier. In the third part, I will talk about catharsis and cathartic meditations. Thank you so much for listening.